People, hello, Harvey. Hopefully we're all doing well. I'm Tom. It looks like Anthony Joshua is not going to be taking the Daniel Dubois rematch. Not next, at least, anyway. So with that, it begs the question, what will Dubois be doing? And of course, with that comes a lot of circulation, a lot of rumours going around on the rumour mill with who he could be fighting, who he should be fighting, who he won't be fighting, why he won't be fighting them. Ultimately, that's the nature of being the heavyweight champion of the world, right? It comes with all this sort of stuff. But today we're going to unpack and look at why he should be fighting certain fighters, why he shouldn't be fighting certain fighters. Mainly why I think, to be honest with you, this Fabio Wardley talk is stupid. It's just stupid. Firstly, though, let's look at why AJ isn't taking the rematch, right? He's not taking it because look, I personally think he should. I think he should go in there, take the rematch, try and avenge his loss, right? But actually, it makes sense not to. It makes sense for him to sit it out, wait a bit, see what happens in the Usyk Fury rematch, and then decide what happens next. Because if he goes in there and takes the rematch and loses the rematch again, that Fury rematch is really kind of dead in the water, more than it already is, right? Whereas, you know, he waits it out. Obviously, if he wins, ideal, you got the title. But if he loses, I'm just saying. Whereas if he waits it out, that Fury fight, Turki Al-Sheikh's already said that Fury fight is still going to be there. It's still going to be there for him. Whether Fury wins or loses as well. I think Fury's going to lose the rematch. So what's going to be, it's going to be like, you know, not the Battle of Britain, like, you know, the Battle of the old people's home kind of thing. Not, you know what I'm trying to say though? It's a battle of people that are coming off losses. AJ lost to Dubois, Fury lost to Usyk. We'll still see them fight. It's better than not seeing it at all, like the AJ Wilder fight, which we're not going to see kind of at all. So it is better than that, but it makes sense for him to just wait it out. Or Fury wins the rematch and then he's fighting Fury for a heavyweight title, becomes three-time that way. Do you know what I mean? So it makes financial sense for him to wait it out, fight Fury for what will be a much, much bigger fight. Potentially go on to fight Dubois after that for what will be a bigger fight, as it's then undisputed again, than it would be to just fight Dubois now and potentially lose. So I get it. So yeah, I think what happens is AJ's looking at this going, I'll wait and see. Dubois can fight in February. I'll wait and see what happens with Fury Usyk. I'll fight Fury after. Then I'll rematch Dubois for undisputed. Beat Dubois then. Rematch Fury for undisputed. Fury retires. Maybe fight Usyk if Usyk's not retired or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? And then probably himself will retire after that. So back to the point. This then means Dubois is free to fight, and he's going to look to fight soon, right? I mean, he didn't take a lot of punishment in the last fight. I'm not having, you know, AJ caught him with a couple of good shots, but no real punishment. The hardest part would have been the camp. A few months off, he'll be ready to fight, probably nowish. So he'll look to fight in February. Rightly so. 5-round fight, didn't take a lot of punishment. You like that? You don't want a 12-round fight and you didn't get beaten up. So he'll look to get out there soon, and rightly so. And Frank Warren's going to want to get him out there, keep building his name, keep an active fighter, keep this momentum going. So he will fight soon. He'll look to fight in February. The question is, who's that going to be? There's been a lot of talk that it's going to be Fabio Wardley. Look, it won't be. They're both promoted by Frank Warren, so it could be. Fabio Wardley's now in the top 15, and he's ranked number 12 in the IBF, so it could be, but it won't be. And it shouldn't be. Let's have it right. If that happens next, it is awful matchmaking. Absolutely awful. Frank throwing one of his best heavyweight prospects, not his best, but one of his best heavyweight prospects in with an on-form killer like Daniel Dubois, just as Wardley starts to reach a decent level. Dubois would absolutely maul Fabio Wardley. I mean, he would kill him. It wouldn't even be close. And Frank knows this too. Look, he's come out and said that Wardley will not fight Dubois next. You can't just throw him to the wolves like that. I was impressed just as much as the next guy when Fabio Wardley knocked out Fraser Clark in round 1 after 2 minutes. That was amazing, and I did not predict that. No one predicted that. I didn't see it coming at all. And the fact of the matter is, he's ready for a step up. He's ready for a fringe world level, gatekeeper, standard kind of guy. He's not ready for one of the champions. He's not ready for Daniel Dubois. Look, Fabio Wardley's last 2 fights, he went life and death with Fraser Clark, who no one really thought was ever going to be a world champion. And then he knocked out Fraser Clark in a rematch in 2 minutes, where we didn't see enough to really know how far he's come, how much he's improved. We didn't. He might have improved loads. I'm not saying he hasn't, but in 2 minutes we didn't see that. What we saw was him blow Fraser Clark out the water because he can whack. We knew that. Wardley can punch, seriously punch. We already knew that. And he dispatched of Fraser Clark in a seriously impressive way. I take nothing away. Absolutely nothing away. He blew me away. Fair play to him. Wow. But we didn't see anything to really say, you're ready for Daniel Dubois. You can take what's coming back at you. You can box. You're ready for Daniel Dubois. We didn't see that. Fraser Clark gave nothing back. Daniel Dubois will give everything back. We've seen that. We know that. He's not ready for Daniel Dubois. And this isn't a disrespect to Fabio Wardley. Again, wow. But let's not start disrespecting Daniel Dubois like we've done previously. Let's not suddenly start overhyping and saying how good Fabio Wardley is. He's ranked number 12 on IBF. That's generous. He's ranked number 12 on IBF. Let's be honest, because Frank's got a bit of a shoe-in with the IBF, you know, with the IBF kind of the body, you know what I mean? Ooh, go on, give Wardley a bit of a ranking. Same reason Moses Time will start climbing up. No, he's not there. What Wardley needs is a fringe world level, like I said, a bit of a gatekeeper sort of fight, not a champion next. This will allow us to be able to see what level he's at, how far he's come, can he box, can he move, can he take what's coming back at him. 2 minutes wasn't enough to do that. How does he fare when he gets deeper in? Round 6, 7, 8, 9. Those championship rounds, 10, 11, 12. Throwing him with Dubois, you know, no. Let's give him, you know, time to build off that win, take momentum, like we did with Dubois, and get something behind him. It's way too soon. And if you think it will be a good fight, or it might be a good fight, it might be an entertaining fight. If you think it'll be a close fight or what should happen next, you're just gonna want basically Dubois to kind of finish Wardley, really put a bit of a stop in that progress, and the confidence. Come on. As for Dubois, it won't be Caballero and it won't be Bacoli because they've been ordered to fight each other as a final eliminator for the next mandatory. Okay, fair enough. I actually really like that fight. I think that's a really good fight. It's going to be like a similar sort of fight to a Zhang Parker kind of matchup, Bacoli. Caballero. I actually don't think either of them necessarily deserve a title shot more than the other. So you let them fight, you let them decide who gets the next one. So it won't be either of those two. I think looking at the rest of the IBF top 15 rankings, it's likely to be a Queensberry fighter, you know, for championship reasons. If you're Frank, you're going to want, regardless of the outcome, you've still got the champion. If Dubois wins, you've got the champion. If Dubois loses, you've still got the champion. And there's a few that are in there. So I think he's going to want it to be an IBF kind of top 15 Queensberry fighter. So looking at that, you've got Zhang and you've got Chisora. Chisora, well, he's nearly 40. Well, he's 40, nearly 41. So if he were to somehow fight him and win, he'll probably just retire. Do you know what I mean? Plus, he's already said he wants to fight Miller and then fight in Manchester. So I don't think it's going to be him. Then there's Zhang. Well, like Chisora, he's old, but he's also not got, you know, a lot of reward behind him. Chisora's got quite a big name. Zhang hasn't. Zhang doesn't bring many eyeballs to the fight. He doesn't bring many, doesn't sell many tickets. And that's annoying because Zhang versus Dubois would actually be an incredible fight. I just don't think it's wise to throw Dubois in with Zhang because he might come out on top and win and great, but he also might get knocked out by one of the hardest punchers, if not the hardest puncher, in the heavyweight division. So I think it's unlikely to be him. I think Zhang needs to build up his name a bit more, although Zhang's also running out of time as he's old. Either way, I don't think it's going to be Zhang. I don't think it's going to be Chisora. So the only one you've got left is Fabio Wardley. But we've already covered him, and I said I don't think it'll be him. So now you're going, well, I think it's going to be a Queensberry fighter. It has to be somebody who's ranked by the IBF. So you've got Chisora, Zhang, Wardley. Chisora's too old. Doesn't, like, it won't happen. Zhang's too high risk reward. Too high risk, not high enough reward. Wardley's just simply not ready. I don't think Frank will want to do that. But there's one person I haven't mentioned. There's one fighter that is also a Queensberry fighter who's been heavily rumoured to fight Dubois, but he isn't in the IBF top 15. This is, of course, Joseph Parker. A man who has more than earned a shot. A man who, besides the two champions themselves, has the best streak in heavyweight boxing right now. A man who is a serious threat for anybody in the heavyweight division right now. A man who's currently entering, if not entered, his prime. He is there. He deserves it. Joseph Parker, the only reason Parker isn't ranked by the IBF is because he's already the WBO mandatory. Boxing politics. It's nothing else. So, reality of it is, if Dubois and Frank went and said to the IBF, we want to fight Parker next, will you accept this? The IBF will allow it. They'll give him a step aside. Well, not a step aside. They'll allow it to happen. They'll give him an exemption. Parker is on form. He's just beat Zhang, a ranked IBF fighter. He's just beat Wilder. You know, there's more names I can list off. He's more than earned a shot. He's a Queensberry fighter as well, and, you know, he's relatively young. He's an adopted British fighter. Most of all, it's an unreal fight. When you talk about Parker versus Dubois, that's going to sell out. Both big names in the UK. An exciting fight. Boxer versus puncher again. That sort of style, we haven't seen Dubois in there for a while. Other than Usyk, really. Parker's put on some size, put on some weight. Let's see how he does there. It's a really good fight. It's a Queensberry fighter versus a Queensberry fighter. So either way, Frank ends up with a relatively young heavyweight champion who's a big name, who's a good fighter, and who could trouble any heavyweight. What will happen is they'll go to the IBF. We'd have to fight Parker. He's not in the top 15. We allow it. They're going to go, yep, he's WBO mandatory. We'll accept that. You can fight him. That is what can and that is what should happen next. They are both fit and ready for February. They are both at the top of their game. Both, you know, deserving champion, deserving champion challenger, deserving title challenger. Both big names. They should go for it. Not Fabio Wardley. Stupid. Just stupid. Not Bakoli Alcabiao. That won't happen. Chisora. Nothing like that. This is the fight to make, and this is what I think will happen. Just give it time, people. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What did I miss? Who have I missed? What do you think should happen? Do you think AJ should take the rematch or keep waiting it out? Let me know your thoughts. I look forward to reading people. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know how YouTube works, people. Peace.